Shalom, when the start of souls, but give no praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, God, Kodash. Double honors to the Apostle of Great Millstone, and honors to you brothers doing the work of the Most High in truth and in sincerity. Yahweh is a real name of whom the world even calls God, Jehovah, or Yahweh. His real name is Yahweh. The Son's true name is Yahweh Shai. And when we pray Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Birmingham in, Herman and Dan Sham, meaning names Yahweh and the name of Yahweh Shai. This is a quick one, right? Basically on this case that is just concluded, if you will, here in the United Kingdom, right? And basically titled this one something to the effect of she's just one that got caught, right? Because one of the things I want to touch on, one is the hypocrisy, right, of this case, right? Because this is a nation that allows women to kill their children, right? In fact, if you've got a baby that suffers from Down syndrome, right? This man basically allows you to what's the word I'm looking for, to abort that child all the way up until death, up until birth, basically. 40 weeks, right? So let me put that into this tab, right? So you can see I'm not making it up. So the Court of Appeal, right, has upheld legislation which allows the abortion of babies with Down syndrome up until birth, right, after a challenge by a woman with the condition. So basically, you can basically just kill a child all the way up until birth. So really, what are they complaining about? Really, what are they complaining about? It's the same damn thing, right? But no, I just cropped that 1.144 there. I go but yeah, what actually are they complaining about? Okay, going into once again the hypocrisy of this man and the way he speaks, right? But then also going further into the fact that actually these elites, right, be going and doing all of these wicked sacrifices, right, whether it be young children, babies, or whatever, what have you, right? They be into all of that sort of stuff, right? And, I remember one of the elder brothers basically going into the fact that these abortion doctors, a good chunk of them are going to be have got to basically be bloody witches and warlocks, right? Because when you hear there was a deposition by someone like a doctor that used to do it, and then he basically after a while stopped, and he was saying, look, man, he was explaining the process, and it was grim. It was grim. He was like, yeah, man, when you see the grey liquid come out, that's the that's the brain matter coming out of the womb, man, right? So there's a whole bunch of murderers walking around, right? But this is just one that got caught. This is one that got charged, right? And this is a crazy ass wicked ass Edomite, man, right? One of the things it says is from the Liverpool Echo, right? It says Nick Johnson KC prosecuting had told the jury that in many cases cold, calculated, cruel and relentless let be trolled through Facebook profiles of her victim's parents to revel in the devastation she had caused. So she'd kill the little babies, right, and then would go back and see the things that she had done, right? But now we understand this though, right? This is Job 4:7. Hit the wrong key. Right, it says, remember, I pray thee, whoever perish being innocent, or where were the righteous cut off. Right, so anything that happens to anyone, right, is because we deserve it. This is the place of judgment, right? It's spoken of here in Ecclesiastes 3:16. It says, and moreover, I saw under the sun the place of judgment, and what's under the sun, the earth. That wickedness was there, and the place of righteousness, that iniquity was there. It's like, so you judged when you come back in third, fourth generation. You come back and you get judged, right, for the for the wickedness that that was committed in your previous lives. Okay, so there ain't no such thing as an innocent, right, according to the Most High. So we read that, right, but then also you got to ask questions as well, because here it says, he basically, it's a 6 minute interview from RTV News where basically the doctor who first had suspicion, he was like, look, man, something ain't right. He says something ain't right. And he says he goes into the different things, right? But basically, he got basically told to shut up, and in fact ended up having to apologize, right, to this Edomite woman here, right? He ended up having to apologize to her, okay. And then even after he apologized, she was like, "Oh, will you enjoy working with me? This, that, and the other." Okay. Now, one of the things as well that stood out, right? It says quiet geek, right? Which trying to make this Edomite the victim, right? But she ain't the victim, man. She's a Edomite, and to be fair, she's just doing what an Edomite does. Okay. Real quick, this is Jeremiah 13:23. It says, can the Ethiopian change his skin or the leopard his spots? Then may ye also do good that are accustomed to do evil. Right? So these Edomites are accustomed to do evil. Right? They can't do no good. And when they seem to appear to do good, there's reasons for it, right? Ulterior motives, right? Because it's not in his DNA, if you will, right? It says Proverbs 12:10, right? Point once at the end, it says, "The righteous man regardeth the life of his beast, but the tender mercies of the wicked are cruel," right? So this for this Edomite, like him trying to be kind, right? It just ends up being cruel, right? He can't help himself. That's just in his DNA. But one of the things our people do, right, is they trust, Edomites like this, man, right? You think about elderly care, right? This is going to be happening a lot more in elderly care because why? The elderly, they're end of life anyway, right? So, if they die, it's just they're like, well, the time came, right? The time just came for that individual to die. Right, but our people will be trusting of these doctors, especially women. Women bloody trust doctors all the damn time, man. Here it is, men for the most part. They hate going, to the doctors, but these women will happily go up to a OB-GYN, right, gynecologist, right, and put their legs in the stirrup, right, wide open for him to fondle around looking for stuff, man, right. When they do find stuff, ultimately, it's just judgment, man. Right? A lot of lewd behavior. Okay, so it was rather as punishment for a lot of lewd behavior. Right. So one of the things I also wanted to get on this matter, right? Sirach 12:10. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Okay, and never trust this devil because you see this, for example, right? NHS BME network. Not only are black women 4 times more likely to die during pregnancy, labor, postpartum, but they are twice as likely to have their baby down the womb or soon after birth, at an increased risk of readmission to hospital in the 6 weeks after giving birth. Right? Now, once again, that part of that is the curses, but then also it's dealing with these damn doctors, man. Okay. Is dealing with these damn doctors taking the injections, right? That get forced upon Jake, right? There was a study, right? I don't know what you can search to get it, but basically it was going into how, I'm going to phrase this carefully, that when they give those stabs, right? How if a Jake took it on schedule, because how there's ones that you get at 3 weeks, at 6 weeks, 12 weeks, whatever have you. When a child gets them at the correct intervals, right, the recommended intervals, they were significantly more likely to end up having what do you call it? Having, what's this word, man? It's that Satan. But basically end up having that mental autism. That's it. Will end up having autism, man. Okay, so that's why you can't trust. This is just one reason why you can't trust this devil, right? Because I don't need that. But then we carry on, it says, though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust hath not been altogether wiped away, right? There was a point that I wanted in here originally. But that's pretty much the point, man. Oh, you can't trust this devil, right? I'm forgetting. So I normally close. Yeah, I think I've read that. Right, Job 13:4. But ye are forgers of lies. Ye are all physicians of no value. Okay, physicians of no value. And this is an example of that, man. You go to these Edomites, whether it's for whatever it's for, is in the medical field, right? This Edomite he's just a BS artist, man. Right, repackaging what the Most High made, but then also adding chemicals in the process, right? To which basically make the natural herb more dangerous. Okay, because I believe it's like what allicin is one that comes from garlics, for example, right? But then Esau will then put a whole load of other chemicals with it, and then repackage that and sell you it back, right, in the pill form, right? And yeah, this is what I had wanted to read, on the facts now that, this is they be talking about this case, but really these Edomites be doing this anyway, right? This is something that they do, as part of their rituals, right? These child sacrifices. That's why you get the children go missing, right? Being used in sex rituals, and whatever, what have you, right? So it's Wisdom 12. I'm going to start from the third verse, right? For it was thy will to destroy by the hands of our fathers both those old inhabitants of thy holy land, right? Now, fast forward to today, right? And you look at, say, the land of America and the great wickedness that has happened in that land, right? For all of the witchcraft and all of the wicked sacrifices is about to say down there, right? The Lord is seeing that and he's like, look, man, this place got to go. And in fact, the Lord designed America such that it was to be destroyed. That's why it was given the name America, man. Okay? That's why it was given the name America, which means bitter. Even in, say, the Romanian, to say bitter, it's amare, right? So this is this is all a part of the Most High's plan. Verse 4 says, whom thou hatest for doing most odious works of witchcrafts and wicked sacrifices. Okay, and that's exactly what you're seeing happen in America, man. Right? Once again, they be talking about this case, but they be doing this and then some in these secret councils that they have when they meet together, right? So it says, and also those merciless murders of children and devourers of man's flesh and the feasts of blood, right? So going into all of these abortions, I mean, originally applied by them, but now you can use this for all of these abortions that you be seeing, man, right? They say that saying, the most dangerous place for a so-called black child, right, is in his mother's womb. Right, you'd think about somewhere like New York where more babies are aborted than born. Okay, and that's what you see, right? This is why this place is going to go, and this is why this place will go, right? Because if the Lord saw what those Hamites were doing in that land and got pissed with, but obviously that's the Holy Land, right? But still, he's seeing the wickedness that is happening in America, and he's like, look, man. Right, this place is got to go. Well, for instance, what does Scripture also say in here? Oops, wrong button. Numbers 35:33. It says, so you shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood it defileth the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it. Okay. So all of the blood that has been shed in that land of America, the Lord wants to recompense it, man. Right? The Lord, not once, but the Lord is going to recompense it. Right? The Lord is gonna correct all of this, man. Okay. So just gonna grab this one, and maybe one more. I'll call it a lesson, right? So it says Isaiah 47 from 12, stand now with thine enchantments and with the multitude of thy sorceries wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. If so be thou shalt be able to profit, if so be thou mayest prevail. Right? So stand now with thine enchantments, right? That which says wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. So all of this witchcraft that has been there from America's inception, that's what I say, from thy youth, right? And then basically the Lord in this verse is basically mocking. So all right, cool. All right, you trust in your witchcraft? All right, man. Let's see what it can do for you. Okay. But all of that witchcraft that is happening once again, child sacrifice is a big part of that, man. Sex magic, child sex magic, right, and everything, right. That is the bedrock of this man's society, man. Okay, but the Lord is coming to put an end to that, man. Right. So, I think I'm just gonna end it there. Like I said, she's just the one that got caught. She's just one a case that they want to speak about because one, the elites be doing a lot worse, right? The elites be doing a lot worse, right? And then also in the same breath, right? They allow abortion, and in the case of Down syndrome babies in the UK, at least they allow abortion up until birth, right? So, as always, Lord's Wood, I was edifying. Till next time we say, Shalom.